Welcome to Live with Aaron and Kelly. I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And we have a packed show today. We've got Jeannie Mai, who's going to be doing the commentary for the Miss USA pageant. We also have the very lovely WWE Nikki Bella, who's going to be judging the USA pageant. And we have none other than, are you guys ready for it?
Ready.
Mark Burnett. We've got a little bit of Mark Burnett on the show.
That was an awesome experience.
I know. Well, how was your week before we jump into it?
Yeah, my week was great. Well, you know, a lot of it was spent with you and the gang. You know, we were at Produced By conference, and that was a great conference.
It was. It was.
You know, I learned a lot just from other producers and. They did it at the Fox Studios, so we were actually able to be in that studio where they did. What's that film called? The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music.
Well, what was really cool about the Produced By conference, for those that don't know anything about it, it's all the major producers showed up. Like J.J. Abrams was there, Mark Burnett,
Jerry Bruckheimer.
So many people.
50 Cent was there.
50 Cent was there. Ludo Lebever. I know I'm totally.
He's gonna like be upset about
I know,
that.
but Ludo, for those of you who watch like all the cooking shows, Ludo is no stranger. Make sure you guys tweet him. We're going to be pushing him this month so that he gets more friends. We love Ludo. He's hilarious.
And he has a new restaurant in the area we want to go to. But evidently you have to not only make a reservation online, but you also
can't be late.
Cannot be late. Or
he will start cooking.
Yes. And I think you have to prepay. So he says he'll take your money if you don't go.
And he said,
and there's only 24 seats.
Yeah. And he will start cooking right at the precise time. And if you're not there, well, then he'll just eat it. I mean,
that's how.
Now,
he was very French.
I know he was hilarious. Now, Aaron, we've got so much to cover here today. You've got a shirt on, Life Craze. Tell us a little bit about that.
Life Craze is an app you could go download, and you actually get points for doing great things from your friends. So, like, if I say today I did 20 push-ups, I get specials on that. Then I can use those like credits to buy stuff later.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool.
I will definitely be checking that out.
Life, Kraze. That's how you spell it.
And you can definitely go to our Facebook and Twitter, Kelly V. Dolan and Aaron M. Sanchez, if you guys want to find out more information.
Yes.
Now, speaking of the tech world, Aaron, you know I have been hashtagging everything. I will text somebody and put a hashtag. I will Facebook somebody and put a hashtag. I do not just leave it for Twitter.
Yeah.
But I think I might be a little bit of a... Visionary, because
we'll call you that. You're a visionary.
What? Tell us.
Because that's right. Facebook is rolling out the hashtagging in the public post. So what does that mean for people? Well, what do you think? I mean, you already use it.
Well, apparently, like if I'm hashtagging in Facebook, then if it's like always I heart Chicago, like hashtag I heart Chicago. Well, other people who are hashtagging in Facebook, it will connect us together. That's what I'm assuming. But I'm just going off the latest that I've heard. Do you have any other info about that?
Well, I will say I posted this to our Facebook community, and Gloria Grenell said, not a good idea. This is a way of depicting personal information that people share. Now, to Gloria and to all those that wonder, well, what's this exactly going to do? This is for your public posts. Now, the true...
Not like your inbox.
Well, not your inbox and not when you post to your friends. You know, how, like your settings are automatic to your friends. But if you put a public one, then it's searchable by everyone. And by the way, that was always searchable. You may not have known that, but people could search your post just by a public post.
And I'm looking at it like this. Like if you're posting things publicly, well, then it's not private.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't know what their settings are, and that gets a little confusing. Now, John Stapleton says, hashtag annoying. He says, I like reading the occasional complete sentence on Facebook versus the abbreviated code of Twitter. So is this going to dumb it down? Is that the consideration?
I don't know. You know me. I'm all about change and going with the flow of the future. So it doesn't, I'm not stuck in the past. I say whatever shall be, shall be.
I will say I embrace it. It does look a little like an Instagram. You have to hashtag practically everything, and there's like words that were made up by people, and it's funny sometimes. But I mean, for subject matters and for events and movies, it's a fantastic way to promote something. For like The Voice, now you can continue in on the conversation if you're only on Facebook and you don't use Twitter, because a lot of people that are on Facebook don't understand Twitter.
You know, speaking of great shows like The Voice, we have some great news.
Woo! What, Kelly?
Live with Aaron and Kelly, one of your favorite shows.
And ours.
And ours. And Jose Luis, our cameraman, is going international. That's right. Not just national, but international.
Yes. Mikasa Broadcasting, the network that we air on, and we've aired on for like the past year in Texas, Houston, Texas, is going national and international in all of the markets, North America, Central America, and South America. Now we could really say we are American in Central and South. Right?
Well, what we're trying to say is we're excited. Aaron's losing his words because he's so excited right now. And we want to give a huge shout out to all our sponsors and future sponsors, because now we are going international, baby.
That's right. We're going big. So congratulations to Jonathan, who's the CEO of that. He's been working very hard on that. And congratulations. Hopefully we can have him onto the show.
Yes.
Talk about that journey to get
we'll have
to
get him on. My goal is to get him on our show sometime this summer.
Yeah, because again, you know, there's only so many Latino stations which are doing it in English, not just in Spanish. So this is really good.
Definitely. And speaking of my goals this summer, it is all about the animations coming out this summer.
Yes.
We have got Turbo, we've got Monsters University, and we've got Despicable Me 2 coming out, all within a couple of weeks of each other. And I am so excited because I'm going to be taking my nieces and nephews to go see them. So I'm so excited about that.
How many? 13?
Oh my God, I can't.
The ones you can't keep.
I can't keep them straight. But now, speaking of you know, film, let's move on to East Los High.
Yes, East Los High. Congratulations to them again. One of the first all Latino cast in English on Hulu. So that's really big, and we got a chance to meet the producer. We're probably going to have her in studio in a couple
I was just going to say, rumor has it we might have somebody in pretty quickly.
Yeah, so East Los High, go check it out on Hulu. You can see the free episodes, or you can pay Hulu to watch all of them and get the whole season if you have like a weekend you just want to.
That's right. And you know, we talked about earlier when we started the show about the Produced by conference. And so we're going to actually take you to our very first interview.
Yes, this interview is from Payday 2. Now, this is where it was a video game. Payday did really good. Payday 2 comes onto the scene, and we are talking with the director and the actual content creator right here. Check it out. You guys have got like everything covered on this. You've got the video game, you've got the movie coming out, you've got a music tour. Tell us, what's the adventure been like?
I would start with the video game, talk about the video game.
It's been a long adventure. It's almost 3 years now, working around the clock to nail this experience. And then having these guys come on and actually pump it up to movie quality it's been really exciting.
Whose idea was it to bring them on?
Well, they brought themselves in, yeah. They pushed.
So they pitched. Did they come to you and say, "Okay, we've got this great idea about robbers and they're you know, or what?"
Payday 1 had just come out, and it was starting to get momentum and starting to become a big success. And we thought there was a great movie, and so Damien pitched Bo on can we turn this into a movie, and then it became this whole multimedia project.
And let's talk about that multimedia, because again, this is a great thing that's happening. We see Resident Evil, we see some other video games that are coming out, and then, you know, Tomb Raider, perfect example back in the day. But now you're doing web series. Tell us about how the web series kind of turns into everything, and beautifully shot, by the way.
Everything is based on the initial IP, which is the video game. But from the video game, we started to develop the motion picture. And as we developed the script on the motion picture, and we're thinking about everything from the soundtrack to what the visuals would look like, what the story is, what the characters are, the more we started to develop that, we also realized, hey, instead of just doing like a game commercial for the release of the upcoming Payday 2, the video game, let's do a web series. Let's pull characters from game 1, let's pull characters from game 2, and let's pull characters in from the motion picture script and create a standalone IP off the original IP. And for me, I think really what's going on is that it's IP generated. like what you talk about is what is the central hub of this wheel, and it's an intellectual property called Payday, which is a successful video game that is now a video game franchise. Also, we're doing a global DJ EDM, electronic dance music tour with a lot of the greatest DJs in the world who will be creating and providing music for the movie. So we're looking at it as an integrated approach, and we've also teamed up with Heavy Metal Magazine and some of the greatest transmedia producers in the world who've been behind everything from Avatar to Transformers, who love the Payday IP. So now, how do we pull it into a synergistic whole? And as Bo said earlier in the panel, yes, we have to pour a lot of energy into whichever piece of that IP needs the energy at that time, and right now it's definitely the game and the web series, and soon it'll be the movie, and we're cross-pollinating all of our teams together.
So that was Bo Anderson, which actually helped create Payday, the game. And you heard Damian Lichtenstein, which is the director of this, and Greg O'Connor. What great, exciting guys. I mean, these guys are just, you know, fans of the whole genre of games, but this is the new trend, again, taking a video game and now what can we do with that? Let's make it into not just a web series. Let's make it into a movie, and let's go ahead and use that music and make a concert out of it. So they're looking at all the different ways they can monetize on it. Very smart.
That's one thing that I loved about the Produced by conference is seeing all these ideas and being able to cross over media. So you've got video games becoming movies. You got movies becoming books. I mean, it's like it's just crazy.
And I think one of the most inspirational speeches I've heard in a long time, and it was a speech, it was about his life, but Mark Burnett, right?
Yes. I had a chance to get a quick question in with Mark Burnett. He was very busy, but he was so kind enough to stop for me. And so I had asked him, what did he want the people to know about his presence at the 2013 Produced by conference? And here's what he said.
I don't know very much, and I'm hoping lots of other producers take some risks. It's a great business to be in. And, you know, there's more ways of watching content than ever. So, you know, there's many ways to produce things. Just do something you love doing and send them and make great stories.
I hope you guys enjoyed that, but I have to say, Aaron, I agree with you. He was by far one of my favorite speakers of the entire conference. I just love how honest he was. You know, he's a man of faith, but he kept it real. And I will just say that. Huge shout out to Mark Burnett. Even when he was answering questions and telling people everything was a story. Everything he had to say was so engaging.
You were hanging on to every word.
Yeah.
I mean, he talked about how ABC originally had Survivor. They had a signed agreement. They said no to him. He said, what? But he went on and he went to CBS and
they're in
the
their
rest is the
27th
story.
season of Survivor now or something like that.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing that I really took from him, he said you don't have to know everything. In fact, the more you know, sometimes the more fearful you become. And he's been successful because a lot of it he doesn't know. He just does it.
He just does it.
That was a real lesson to me, and I think that's a lesson to a lot of people that want to start up businesses that think they have to know every section of it. No, surround yourself with people that are greater than you, that know more about it, and they'll help you.
Absolutely. I just absolutely loved hearing him speak. But you know what? They're rushing us. We got to go to commercial break.
Yes.
When we get back, we've got the very lovely
Jeannie Mai.
That's right. And you got to speak with her.
And later, Nikki Bella.
Woohoo! More when we get back live with Aaron and Kelly. Welcome back to Live with Aaron and Kelly. Aaron, I am so disappointed because you got to speak with Jeannie Mai. She's going to be doing the commentary on the Miss USA pageant. I mean, she is known for her fashion tips, and you know how much I'm into fashion. I would have loved to have been here for it.
I know, but instead we both know who needs more fashion tips is me.
No, Aaron, you've been looking good these days.
Well,
I'm just saying.
It's people like Jeannie that kind of give their input, and unfortunately, I need that, and I think a lot of guys actually need that out in the universe. But here it is, Jeannie Mai. Enjoy. Darren and Kelly, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez, and Kelly couldn't be with me today because I think she didn't want to hear all the fashion do's and don'ts. But we have Jeannie Mai here on the show. Welcome. Thank you for coming onto the show, Jeannie.
Thank you. I'll be here for you. I won't be Kelly, but at least I'll give you a little bit of a kick and K.
Yeah, well, thank you. Because, Kelly, she said, oh, my God, I want to get fashion tips from her and everything. But I think she was kind of scared to find out, maybe what you thought about her current fashion. I'm just kidding. But
oh, stop it.
No, I tease her. She teases me all the time. But, Jeannie, again, congratulations on Miss Universe, being able to be the commentator on that. But from what I understand, it's not like you're new to the party. You've been around this for a while, right?
Yeah, definitely. I love the Dick Clark family. I mean, it's really something that I'm honored to be a part of because empowering women and giving them opportunities to place themselves, under the spotlight is really something that I think is humbling for a woman. It can be empowering, and it can also be very. It can build a life learning experience that I can't express enough what these women go through. I mean, to be under the fire, to kind of make the right decisions, surround yourself with strong people, build a business so that you are representing yourself in the right way, and then turn around and say, please do judge me, like openly judge me, so that I can tell you whether or not I'm right for this representation of the company or of the country. I mean, that's a lot for a young woman. Remember, these women are barely, getting their roots grounded as they're in their 19, 18, mid-20s, young mid-20s. And so it's a lot for a young woman to determine. It's not something I would have known when I was growing up in that age.
Well, and I have to ask because, again, I think my familiarity with pageants is Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock, of course. But,
Of course.
What's it like being behind the scenes? I mean, how much do you get to see before they actually go on?
Well, I get to see a lot because these women, basically, they're stuck in one main room the entire 2 weeks before this Sunday on June 16th.
Oh.
So they are sitting around having to rehearse over and over and over just to really prepare themselves because it's live TV. I mean,
right.
The entire world is watching and everything could happen. So you can imagine the rehearsals go pretty deep. I get to really talk and interact with these women. I really love that Facebook and Instagram and Twitter is a big part of getting to know these women. I mean, it's really vital and important for me as a commentator to allow you to see behind the scenes and what these women are doing. I mean, I want to know, are they nice to producers? I want to know, are they thankful towards their sponsors? Are they getting super tired after a long day of rehearsals, not realizing that's like a fraction of what their schedule is going to be like when they win the crown, if they do? Are they humble? Are they thoughtful? Right. Are they always poised? Are they fake? I want to know all these things. So I share this on all of my on my Twitter feed at Jeannie Mai, and I want you guys to make a great decision because it's not just what they're like on that day in the 2 hours. It's actually about how they are and how they represent themselves the entire time on their Twitter feeds and what we see around as a production company.
Well, I do like that. I saw your Twitter, I saw your Facebook and Instagram. I'm a fan on all of them, and I know everybody that listens should be a fan. Again, it's Jeannie Mai. Now, Jeannie.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Now, Jeannie, you have a lot of I guess I could say of what you've done yourself. I mean, you started off in the industry as a makeup artist, for those that don't know, which led you into the world of fashion as you do well in it. You're on OMG now, so you've kind of empowered yourself and built your own business. Where were there any moments that perhaps were challenging for you?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I would have to say I grew up in San Jose, California, so it's definitely not the land of the TV industry. And also, being Asian American, it was challenging for me to convince my parents that I had a dream and to support me to believe in it. Because for any, my parents migrated here a year before I was born. So for them, an education and then going into, the practical jobs of like becoming a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, let's be real, that's not going to happen anytime ever for me. But that was something that they saw was like the more promising career that I would be guaranteed to, taking care of myself. But I think for me, standing up for what I believe in and making sure that my parents felt respected, that I wasn't just kind of turning on them and taking off in my own direction, like that was something I had to really make sure I was communicating thoroughly so that they supported that. And then, as you know, as you hear, the Hollywood industry, I mean, it really is. You fight and work so hard to prove your worth and why you're different that really, every celebrity out there that we, learn about when it comes to like Brad Pitt sitting on the corner of the of a chicken stand wearing a chicken suit, going out there making, working jobs that would fit around his life. It's just like, I love stories like that because it really is hard to make it under the spotlight and be respected. So, yeah, those are some of the challenges I remember facing.
Well, and I appreciate all that you're doing. I especially appreciate what you're doing with the nonprofits. You have, tell me about Nightlight International. What is it that they do?
Thank you. Yeah, so being a young woman growing up, as a privilege, or as someone to feel so privileged to be in America, I really recognize that all that I've been given is such a blessing that it's important for me to not only sit here commentating, for my jobs, but commentating on what's going on in the rest of the world so that people can be aware. Human trafficking and sex trafficking is one of the biggest epidemics that's out there that happens not only internationally, but it also happens in our very own cities and states. I mean, just recently, my husband's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and just across the street in his own neighborhood, there was an incident of human trafficking that was happening in the very own home that everybody just kind of drove by every day thinking it was just an everyday house with an everyday family. And so children and women are being sold and exchanged and being forced to work in different really horrible labor conditions that we have to be aware of because we're consumers, and the different products that we buy, companies that we support, help to continue this. And at the year of 2013, I mean, the days of Harriet Tubman and slaves are gone, you would think, but it's not. So Nightlight International is one organization besides things like Not for Sale that allow you to support women that have been rescued from the sex industry to make jewelry to help provide a different means for themselves. Not for Sale is a great organization that helps you to understand how you can help in your own communities to free these women and to make a better means for the children that are trapped in these positions. So I love organizations like this.
That's awesome. We have reported extensively on our show about human trafficking and sex trafficking. We had an individual here, Jericho Rosales, and he was talking about from the Philippines, his experience with that. And it's true. It's right in our backyard, and it's reported on very little in comparison to how much it goes on. So thank you for bringing awareness.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So
you guys too.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I got a quick question before they cut us off from Twitter. Let's see, Andrea, the leader, is saying, can you ask her what's the worst makeup job she has ever given, and what's the worst makeup job she has received?
The worst makeup job I've ever received is when I don't communicate clearly with somebody and I end up getting my face, what we call beat. If you get your face beat in the makeup world, that means it's literally like throwing, the makeup palette at your face and you end up looking like a clown. I personally like a good makeup job, so I've learned that I need to communicate very clearly in order to give the artist the best chance to doing my makeup. But being an artist from before, I'm really, really difficult. Number two, the worst makeup job I've ever had is anybody who's ungrateful. I don't want to name names, but if someone's just ungrateful towards makeup artists, because their job is to put that smile on your face,
yes,
it's really, really hard. So even if they didn't do a great job, just to let them know, where they could have done better, or, you know, what they did wrong that maybe they could improve on. I mean, it's just be grateful. Just be nice. That's all it takes.
Thank you, Jeannie. You couldn't have said it better. Thank you so very much, and we hope we look forward to seeing you this weekend on the Miss USA pageant.
Yes, I can't wait. I'll see you guys on Twitter. I'm at Jeannie Mai, so let me know your thoughts.
So I'm certainly going to be tweeting Mrs. Mai on the behind the scenes of Miss USA.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, really big. Do you watch Miss USA?
You know what? I do. I don't catch it every year, but I do like how they do try to set a good example for the young ladies out there. I like the questions, and I am big on personality. So, and speaking of who else is going to be at the pageant, we have Nikki Bella, WWE's diva.
Yes.
She will be there as well. She'll be judging.
She will not be body slamming the girls, although I think that would be fun to see the top 10.
That might be like a new category. who could body slam Nikki Bella?
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss this interview. When we get back, we're going to find out who she's been seeing. Welcome to Live with Aaron and Kelly, and it's what you guys have been waiting for. We have the very lovely Nikki Bella on the phone. Are you there, Nikki?
Yes, I am here.
Now, Nikki, you have a really busy schedule, but before we jump into your schedule, everybody has been tweeting and Facebooking us, and they want to know, who are you dating these days?
You know what? That seems to be the question I'm getting lately. But, well, I'm dating a wonderful, handsome man named John. And yes, he works at WWE, and I guess some people do know him as John Cena.
But what do you call him?
Sorry,
do you call him?
I'm taken.
But do you call him like Big Bear?
That?
Do you call him like?
Do you have a nickname for him?
Yeah, what's your nickname?
You know, I do like Big Bear, but, you know, I just kind of call him my man or my love. I don't know. I haven't come up with that big manly nickname yet.
Well, I will say there's one woman that you will have to fight for. It's my 7-year-old niece who actually has a crush on him. So you might have to fight her over him because she's got eyes on him, girl.
I love it. Well, I'll wait 11 years for that fight. That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. All right. So now this weekend you're going to be judging the Miss USA competition. Are you looking forward to that? What are you looking forward to most about that?
You know, I am just looking forward to seeing all of the 51 women that are competing and just to see what they bring in the swimsuit, evening gown, and interview category. I mean, I was a fan of watching this growing up, and now to be a part of it and even to be a judge of it, it's just, I mean, not that it's just this big dream come true, but it's such an honor. And I am also, I do have to say, excited that I'm going to see the Jonas Brothers perform up close and personal. I mean, here's a little secret of Nikki Bella. I love the Disney Channel, and the Jonas Brothers kept me feeling safe late at night when I was alone in my room and I had to turn on the TV. So I'm excited to see them up close and personal.
Well, it seems like my niece and you have a lot in common the more we talk.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, Nikki, you know, judging, what's your criteria for judging, first of all? Because, I mean, is it like the girls that could take you in a ring, or is it just, what's your criteria?
Well, you know, I think this Sunday I'm going to have to put the ring stuff aside. And, you know, being, you know, a U.S. citizen myself and having this woman represent Miss USA for the next year, I'm really into personality. And I feel like if you have an amazing personality and a truly good heart, that shines through. So you'll see that beauty shine through. You'll see the sparkle in her eye, the smile on her face. So I'm going to really try to find that inner beauty in that woman.
I love it. I love it. Now, you know, something else that you've got coming out is Total Divas this summer. What can we expect from that?
Oh, yeah. What can't we expect from Total Divas? So We are premiering July 28th, Sunday, on the E! Network, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And you are basically going to see 7 of us, our lives inside and out of the ring. You're going to see personal lives. You're going to see drama. You're going to see rivalry. And I have to say, I am just excited to share this with the world because I think, you know, some people have a perception of us WWE Divas because of how we are on TV and how we are in the ring. So to see this side of us outside of the ring is just going to be something very special. Plus, we're going backstage, and no one's done that before. So you are going to see us backstage at Wrestlemania and at Monday Night Raw. So it's going to be something very exciting.
Very cool.
That's great. I'm a long time, like back to Ric Flair and some of the big boys, you know.
Right. I mean, it's WWE. The fans are crazy. What's been like one of the most outrageous experiences with one of the fans that you've had?
Oh man, which story do I say? I guess, you know, it's just like all the gifts like you can get or flowers delivered to buildings for you. It's nice to know someone's always thinking about you. I guess being in this day and age, like social media, of course, is very big. So you get some Twitter blasts that either shocks you or touches your heart. But, you know, thank goodness I haven't had anything too crazy that's either put me in the courtroom or anywhere else. So my fans, the Bella Army, they kind of embraced my sister and I, so we're very fortunate for that.
Yeah, speaking of your fans, they tweeted us all night last night. I think you're the most tweeted person. Like when we ask for questions, we got a bunch of. So we have to ask. We have to support them. Andrew Michael is asking, "What's your most memorable moment in your wrestling career?"
I have to say, my most memorable was one is when the Bella twins actually debuted, because as we all know, it was Brie Bella for a little bit, which actually was me under the ring and we'd switch in and out. But another moment that I'll never forget was WrestleMania 25 and the 25 Diva Battle Royal. And to be in the ring with, you know, Tori Wilson and Sunny and Molly Holly, and then also, you know, Michelle McCool and some of the other girls. It was such an honor. And I was just looking around going, wow, not only have I watched these girls over here since I've been young, then I have these girls that I'm looking up to, then I have these other girls that I'm trying to take their spot. So that's definitely a moment. I mean, and we got to walk out to Kid Rock singing. Like, I think him and I had a little shimmy at one point, but I was like, this is freaking awesome. This is WWE. This is WrestleMania. So that's a moment I will definitely never forget.
You know, you talked about looking up to some of these wrestlers, and there's a lot of young girls out there that look up to you. What's something that you can tell them or a piece of advice that you can give to them?
Well, you know, being a bad girl on TV, I would just love my fan base, especially the girls that watch us, to know that, you know, we're characters. And what we do on TV isn't always right, but we're entertaining. And outside the ring, we love to be role models. My sister and I are very much against anti-bullying. We support a lot of charity foundations. But it's just to embrace who you are and to love who you are. And that's something that I just love to share to all the girls, because we're all made different. And, you know, it's no reason to make fun of someone for something, but just embrace it and love people for who they are.
I loved what you said about the anti-bullying. You know, I was bullied a lot as a kid. So could I have you and John, like, at my side the next time I get bullied? I'm just asking.
Yes. You were taking us to your high school reunion. Like, hello.
That would be awesome.
Oh, my God. That would be freaking amazing.
I will come in here.
That's awesome.
Somebody should win that. Just I mean, that would be awesome. Okay, now I've got to ask one other question from the Twitter universe, and that is, you know, what do you think about the Divas division? This is coming from Desiree Songer 11H.
Oh, I love my Bella Army questions. Let's see. The Divas division, I still think we are in a period of growing, but I think we are growing. Since Brie and I have been back, I feel like there's been some more action in the Divas division. We have some great talent. I can't wait till we can showcase that more, but I definitely think it's coming along. And I definitely think with the E! Show Total Divas airing, I think we're going to get more girls worldwide out there wanting to aspire to be divas. So I'm very excited to see what the Divas division holds in the future, but I definitely think we're getting there. and we're getting closer and closer to making that title mean something again.
You know, you talk a lot about you and your sister. Obviously, everybody knows the Bella twins. What's the biggest difference between the two of you guys?
Well, besides our curves, Brie and I are definitely, like, we just have different personalities. My sister is, well, we're both very humble, but she is definitely the quieter half, I guess you could say. She's more passive. She's kind of that hippie, free-loving spirit, where I'm more that firecracker. So I guess that's kind of like the difference between Brie and I. I mean, when you even look at our boyfriends, like, they're just so different. Like, Brie, who her boyfriend's Daniel Bryan, I mean, right there explains it all. Like, I just look at them and I'm like, you two would move to Washington. Like, they're just, they just make me laugh. They have gardens. They love to grow their own food. I love to go to dinners and get wined and dined. So this, and you know what's great about the E! Show, again, Total Divas, is you will definitely see the difference between my sister and I.
Awesome. Well, we'll be watching that, and we will be watching the competition this weekend. We've got Miss USA, and thanks so much for talking to us, Nikki. We got to let you go. They're letting us know. So have a beautiful weekend. Have a good time this weekend.
Oh, thank you. You too as well. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Aaron, did you hear that? Nikki and Cena will be coming to your reunion? Well, we won't age you, but we'll just say, for the sake of saying, your 5-year reunion.
Here's the thing. In high school, I wasn't bullied because everybody thought I was a teacher because I looked older, but it was an intermediate.
So you always look this way. Not to say that
pretty
you look
much.
older. Not to say that you look older.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
But that's good.
But in intermediate, it was the ones where I got picked on. I mean,
when you were in grade school.
Oh yeah,
like 8th grade.
It was intermediate for us, but yeah, and then elementary, I got bullied so bad that I actually had a can of mace with me, and because my parents gave me a can of mace, and they said, you know, if anything or anybody comes at you, go ahead and use this. Well, I used it. And I'm the one that got suspended because the guy was coming. I warned him. I said, "Don't come near me." But he didn't know what mace was until I hit him. Well, now it isn't, evidently, in school because, well, I mean, the police came, and now just, I mean, it's legal to have, but evidently not at school, evidently. And I think you can thank me for that. But anyway, so that's awesome. I can take John.
Oh, my God.
And her.
That's crazy. Could you imagine you walking in? Do you know how many chicks you'll be able to pick up with both those guys? Seriously.
With the guy and her?
Yeah, hello, because all the girls are going to want to come over because Cena's by you.
Right. And I'm like the next. I'm like
you're like the next guy in line. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so then everyone's going to be like, "Oh, Andy's walking with her. Oh, he must be important. Come on." Yeah.
See, so there you go.
You got hooked up this morning, Aaron. All right, you guys. More when we get back. Live with Aaron and Kelly. Welcome back to Live with Aaron and Kelly. We had a packed show today.
Yes, that was huge. I mean, first of all, we had some great people, Jeannie Mai and Nikki Bella, fantastic. And you know, Nikki, I have to say, I kind of went into that interview thinking maybe she's going to be her character. I'm glad she wasn't, and I like what she said. You know, people have to understand, especially the young girls, these are characters. Yeah. Maybe they don't do all the things that are right, but they're entertaining, and that's the big thing we want to take away. I want to take away from that.
Yeah, definitely. And I thought, I mean, you could just tell that she has a soft spot in her heart, because even when I was talking about my niece, you know, liking Cena, she was like, "Aw," you know. So it's not all what you see sometimes, you guys.
And, you know, I didn't even mention it because there was so much you as fans and Twitter fans wanted us to ask your questions. I'm sorry we didn't get to all of them. But, you know, I wanted to say about John and Bean and Flintstones. I just didn't want to make it all about him. I wanted to make it about her. But
he's Are you excited about that?
Well, now I am, because now we have like a direct connection, you know. And so I want to hear what John has to say about his role in Flintstones.
You know, and
cartoonized.
I have to admit, I have a little secret too that I withheld. I didn't mention that my sister-in-law actually has a crush on, on John Cena too, because I didn't want my brother to be jealous or anything.
Well, it's funny because a lot of the Twitter fans were asking. You could tell, like, and their Twitter name is like Cena fan or fan or Cena follower. So they're in, but they're being supportive of her. They were not so supportive of his previous ex. So hey, congratulations, and I hope it goes nothing but good for them.
And again, congratulations to Live with Aaron and Kelly, and to all the fans, all the people who tune in. We are going to be on Mikasa Broadcasting all over the world now. We're international, Aaron, as we had mentioned earlier on the show. And
yes.
I am so excited for so many reasons. But what was your initial reaction when you got the news, Aaron?
Well, as you know, I've known about this for quite a while. It's been something in the making, and so I have to say, there, whenever you wait for news to break, just like a role, like with a film, you have this expectation, but you also have this realistic, okay. So of course, as soon as I heard, I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I was a little stunned. Exactly. Oh my God. And it still quite hasn't hit me yet.
Sure.
So what about you?
I'm just really excited because I feel like it's an opportunity to expand our audience, and our audience is the best. Like they've grown,
awesome.
They've grown to kind of know each other through Facebook and Twitter.
I know, they connect with each other, huh?
And I think what's so beautiful about our show is there's so many different nationalities, ethnic backgrounds, age range that tune in, and bringing them all together. I'm really excited about it.
I appreciate everybody that's tuned in and that tweet us and Facebook. We do look at all of those. We've tried to fit it in as much as we can. So thank you for all of your correspondence. But, again, Mikasa's exciting, but you've got some exciting stuff going on as well with Step It Up.
Well, I do. Every summer I have a program, Step It Up. You can go to www.stepitupllc.com for more information. And it's a program that works with young girls around like 16, 17, and they get an opportunity to come to Los Angeles for 2 weeks. And we put them through the LA Ringer, and we do like a commercial with them, a music video.
There's like no nonstop.
We do headshot. This year, we are going to be doing a PSA for anti-bullying, and the girls don't even know about it unless they're listening right now. But we're so excited because it's an opportunity not only for the girls to continue dancing, these are dancers, but an opportunity to give them a voice at such a young age. And I am beyond excited. And huge shout out to my business partner, Hannah Stedman. You can follow her at Han5Stead, STEAD.
Yeah.
So show her some love on Twitter. And I'm just really excited. And another thing to talk about, as you guys know, I heart Chicago. I love it. So make sure you guys hashtag, anytime you want to find out what I've been tweeting about Chicago, tweet hashtag I heart Chicago. Go Blackhawks! That's all I got to say. Chicago Blackhawks.
Awesome. And is that why you're wearing the red today?
I am. I'm sporting the red.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That makes sense. I appreciate all you do at the Step It Up program. You could tell that the girls really blossom from that. And you can really tell how much it's impactful to their lives, because in their Facebook, they're still posting things about it.
Like
they're still talking to each
other.
It was like a family. So I encourage anybody that has a friend, if you're not the one that's the dancer, but you have a friend that is, mention it to them. stepitup.ll or stepitupllc.com and go check it out. I endorse it, not as a dancer, but as just a viewer.
Oh my gosh, you had a really big interview this week.
I did?
You did.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You forgot to tell us about it. I'm so sorry.
I know. Are we talking about East Los High?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Speaking of dancing, they have dancing in that show. Go check it out, East Los High. But yeah, we got to interview Alicia Sixtos.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And she's very talented. I have to say, she's not only very talented, but, in talking to her, she's really down to earth. I mean, she was at the point where she was kind of debating whether this is for her. It wasn't until after she did her first movie. And by the way, she was in Avengers, so you can't. Yeah, right there.
Love Avengers.
You can't have enough of that. But you know, she was very down to earth and very realistic about as a career, and you could tell she doubts herself still, but that she has to try to listen to other people that see her talent, and she is very talented. You have to go check it out.
That's
East Los High, and it deals. Be prepared. It deals with big issues. It deals with pregnancy. It deals with drugs. It deals with all of the big issues that are affecting our teens right now.
Well, that's awesome that you got an opportunity to speak with her, and I think in the future, near future, we'll get to speak with one of the producers.
We are talking to the producer.
That'll be great.
And yeah, she already agreed to come in a couple of weeks. So
awesome.
if everything aligns properly, she'll be on our show.
They're telling us that we got to wrap it up.
Oh,
I don't want to leave. We're not leaving. Really? Are you serious? All right, you guys, we got to say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, you guys.
Thank
See you
you
next
for tuning
time.
in. And remember, go to AaronandKellyLive.com for all of our news.
And tweet us, Kelly V. Dolan and Aaron M. Sanchez.
And hashtag Aaron and Kelly. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Turn it up, break and get loud. We are young, don't tell us how. We should go on living now. Break the rules, let's